Welcome to Tea and Ties, the Great British Wrestling podcast for Great British Wrestling, as featured on the Jonas Podcasting Network. We have a very special guest with us today. We are joined by one of the hottest prospects in all of wrestling, one of the fastest rising stars, one of the fastest in-ring performers, known as the Prince of Pace. He is the United Empire's young lion, and on the 8th of September, he makes his New Japan debut. Thank you for joining us, Callum Newman. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for the intro. It's always a good intro.
Not a problem. I'm sure you are super stoked, super excited right now to be heading out there.
Yeah, I'm like terrified. Like I've been nervous for the build up, but now I'm ready to go. Like my bags are pretty much packed, so I just need to get there now.
What's that one must item that you have to take with you, or which you've already packed and taken with you?
Uh, Probably my Air Forces, if I'm honest. Um, I don't know. I've just been to Lakeside today and kind of topped up. I bought like a nice new jacket, but that's about it. I just want to get there now. I'm just like I'd like I've been trying to think about what's the best thing to pack, and so far it's been Air Forces and workout clothes, and that's as far as I got.
Has Will not bought you a suit yet? Because I
I
feel
have
that's
got a
you.
suit. I turned up in the copper box in a suit, and I got a lot of compliments. I was well happy.
That's awesome. And I mean, what a weekend just gone. You mentioned Copperbox, Repro UK, 4,000 people. You got a shot at the cruiserweight title. What an incredible match between all six of you. That's the largest crowd you've ever been in front of for performing. What was it like?
Oh, it was insane. Like it kind of didn't really set in that it was like my last kind of UK booking for a while until I was kind of on the stage. But like just the sheer amount of people, like because when I got on the stage, I couldn't really see everyone because of the lights. But then when I jumped in the ring and then finally looked around, I realized like the top of the bleachers and everything, being in front of that many people was wild. Like it's mental. But now it's kind of set in that in a few weeks' time, debuting at Hurricane. So
Well,
it's
I,
like
I
it's
couldn't be there in
crazy.
person, but I watched it live on the RevPro On Demand app, which is absolutely fantastic. Watch RevPro UK live. I'm looking forward to the HD version being released this week. If you
Hmm.
haven't seen it or you just seen some photos, make sure you log on to RevPro On Demand. It's free for 2 weeks at least. So just go check that out and go check out the whole show. It really, really is fantastic. And you've had quite an incredible year at RevPro UK. Probably your best year for RevPro so far. You became a mainstay for the promotion.
Yeah, like I've kind of dipped back and forth for Rev Pro, but I feel like this year I've definitely kind of like I've like been like a Rev Pro regular,
Yeah.
and like since the start of the year, I've like said on another podcast, like I made like I made it kind of like an issue in my head to kind of be like the best kind of junior heavyweight in the UK, and I took that everywhere I went with me, and I think it's kind of paying off now. Uh, but like Rev Pro, I definitely owe a lot to Andy. He definitely is like one of the main reasons why I get to go where I'm going to, and he's definitely helped push me like quite far in
Mm.
the big old world of wrestling.
Yeah, because you had some really big matches this year. You got to face RKJ in a singles match. You got a singles match against Gabriel Kidd. Uh, you had the Will Ospreay match, that incredible Leon Slater match. And one that I think is truly underrated actually is your match with JJ Gale. I think it was
Mm.
Stevenage, which was absolutely fantastic. The two of you really put on quite a show.
Yeah, that one was. I think because like we was itching for it even when we was tagging, and then when we decided to split, and I think once it did finally happen, we was kind of like, right, let's see how it. Now we split. Let's kind of see which kind of road we've taken, kind of. But like, it definitely is like quite an underrated match. Because I watched it back a little while ago, and I was like, fuck, like we actually are like our styles like they're different, but they kind of complement each other like in a
Mm.
really nice way. But yeah, no, it's definitely a good one to watch.
Yeah, both of you have really kind of broken out on singles since the since the split. JJ's had a great run as well. Yoda Suji match and many other top performers. But of course, you were put together originally by Will, weren't you?
Yeah, it was the Epic Encounter tapings. He wrestled both of us and said, "Well, those two are kind of similar. Let's put them in a tag team." That's literally how it started. I think, like as simple as that.
Yeah, you got a shot at the tag team. No, you faced the tag team champions. It wasn't actually for the titles at the time, though, was it? But
No, I don't think so. No.
but you've had two shots, or technically three shots at the cruiserweight championship. One of the matches was it the rope breaks? Robbie X, yourself and JJ
Uh,
Gale had to rematch it a couple of days on a different show, though.
uh yeah, we had uh what was it? So I had against Oku, the triple threat, two triple threats with myself, Robbie, and JJ, and then I think the most recent one with the Copper Box show. So it's like I don't think about four. I think 4 times I've tried to get the belt, but it just hasn't happened. Don't know why.
I'm sure it'll happen soon enough. On our channel, I've been screaming, somebody put a belt on Callum Newman before it's too late. And of course, now you're off to Japan. I was hoping you would take the title with you and be able to play it out there. Because we'll talk about the reasons probably why that didn't quite happen yet, but I'm sure it will do. Now, what weekend, all in. I'm sure you were there live to watch your mentor Will Ospreay against Chris Jericho. I'm sure you had a better seat than most as well. But what was it like being in there, and what were your thoughts watching along?
Watching it was mental because I I wasn't there live because I like had because where I've been like sorting all my stuff out for Japan, I kind of just stayed there with my family. Um, but I definitely made sure to keep up with it. And Will's just he's just the best in the world, isn't it? Like there's no comparison. Like no one really compares to Will. Like just everything. Like I kind of like he pointed up and all the fireworks at the top of Wembley started going off for about 20 minutes. I'm like, just that is like insane to me. Because like come out, done the pose, pointed up and bang all the fireworks. I'm like, that's the match done now. Like there's like 4.5 stars there. But like it's just the fact that like he has gone from this backyard kid to being like one of the biggest kind of matches in wrestling history is insane. And like he's like my older brother, and like watching him like accomplish all this stuff's insane. But yeah, like all the matches were so sick. Like everything about it just all worked. I'm doing it again next year or something.
Yeah.
So it's just gonna be bigger and better. Like it's insane.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, it did trickle down to the Brit Rest promotions as well. Progress doing a great show with Defy Wrestling, RevPro UK putting 4,000 in Copper Box. Riot Cabaret had a great show on the Friday night. Then you had Pro Wrestling Eve and Choco Pro over here. So they really, it was a massive weekend for Brit Rest. Now I saw somebody post about possibly, coming out of this, why can't UK Brit Rest be live back on TV on ITV? What do you think about that when you look at everything of that weekend? Do you think it should be done? Somebody should do it.
Um, I don't know because they done like World of Sport come back for a little bit, and then they went touring, and then it kind of just stopped. But like, I don't think I don't know. I don't think it should be on the like telly weekly. I don't think anyone in the UK really wants to. I don't. It's a weird one because I don't think I'd watch weekly TV wrestling for the UK
Mm,
because like Epic Studios in Norwich, WAW run that venue all the time, and like, well, I don't know if they still do it, but they used to run it like all the time, and they put on like some like amazing shows. Like you'd rather go watch that live when like World of Sport were doing it. I don't know if you could be like pay a ticket to go watch that show live, like while they was filming it. So like, I think it's just like I don't know. I just think live shows are better. Like I'd love it. Like I say it to some people, I'd love it if I could run a show. I'd ban people from going on their phones because now, like I was watching an old clip. It was AJ Styles doing like a Styles Clash.
Mm,
It's like Ring of Honor or something. No one's on their phone. The only bit of footage is like the cameras, like people like ringside filming it. No one's got their phone out. No one's like swiping, nothing. They're on their feet screaming. I was like, if I
mm,
was going to run a show, you're not allowed your phone out, or like, you got to leave. Or like, I think Kevin Hart, when he does his stand up shows, you have to put your phone like a case and the staff lock it so you can't physically get your phone. So you're there to watch it. You're there to watch a show and enjoy it. But like, I think like weekly, like on TV, it could work. I just don't know. I don't know enough about TV wrestling anyway. Because
yeah.
like even when I do shows, like I ignore the cameras half the time. Like I think if I see a camera, I might kind of pose, but like I don't know about posing. I don't know how cameras really work. Like if I was to film a show, I don't know where to put them. But I think yeah, it could work, but it's got to be done by the right people.
Mm. Needs to be a venture with somebody who's got money, who can promote put on a half decent show. And I think you need more than just UK television. You'd need a European television deal as well, and
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
have it because the AEW and WWE, every time they go to a different state, it's like going to a different country.
yeah,
And that's a huge advantage. So I think if it has to be done, it'd have to involve Europe as well.
yeah. Because like you can, I think you can only go to certain cities without like the same fans kind of going.
Mm,
And like I don't know, I feel like AEW because it's so big, it feels like every show's like kind of a different show. Whereas
yeah.
I don't know if like in the UK you'd kind of be doing the same thing because the talent in the UK now is fucking insane. Like everyone is so good, like it's mental.
Mm. Probably, yeah. The amount of young, incredible talent, including yourself, you got like Leon Slater, you've got the CPF boys still, Joe Lando, Maverick, and Danny Black. Guys like Lance Rivero goes a bit under the radar up northeast, and George Lydon in the Midlands right now, Shane Hooker over in Wales. There's some really amazing young talent, and then you got the veterans back now as well.
Mm.
But RevPro UK have probably been the closest to running almost weekly shows. They almost run like every other week at the moment. They've been doing such a great job.
Yeah, Andy's been like real good at keeping on top of everything. He does like 229, which is like the first Sunday of every month, and he's kept that way for ages. And he's like going here, there, and everywhere. And he always like the slogan's pro wrestling at its best. So he's definitely kept up to the slogan, I guess. He don't really settle for anything less.
I think in the UK right now, you have to look at RevPro UK as the almost top promotion because they just packed 4,000 people in the copper box, and
Yeah,
they build to every 3 months a York Hall show or the Gordon Craig shows that pack in 1,000 people. And it's great to see him run smaller shows at the 229 to help build storylines. And yeah, Andy's done a great job this year.
yeah. He's and like Andy's like helped me loads. Like every match, he's always like kind of giving me feedback and like when he's needed to kind of not chew me out, but when he's had to kind of be like, do this, and I'm like, all right, boss, I'll listen to you. Let's just do it because like it was like last November we had a sit down talk like behind a closed door, and he gave me like we spoke for about like 25-30 minutes of just like right 2023. This is what I need from you. I need this, and this. And at first it was kind of like, like why would I do any of this? But I thought, no, I'm going to listen to him. And like I listened to everything he said, stuck to it. And then I said to him at the Copper Box, I was like, if that sit down talk we had, now look where I'm going. And even at the Copper Box show as I was leaving, shook his hand. I was like, thank you for everything. Like genuinely, like you gave me a bollocking, but I really appreciate that you did it for me.
Yeah, I can imagine Andy like that. He does a great promoter, and you can tell he loves wrestling, and he's got a really good mind for wrestling as well. I'm not sure how involved does he get in match layout.
Um, I feel like when he wants something, he will definitely get involved. It's more after because he's done. I think he's done pretty much everything. Like he's done.
Mm,
So he's obviously a promoter. He used to referee. He's done the ring announcing. He's pretty much a match agent for everyone. And like even like back in when we was doing the like the no fan tapings,
Mm.
he was pretty much helping everyone with their promos, saying this is what I want. And like I remember being like, why would I say that? And he was like, I don't care, just say it. It's gonna make sense. And then you think, okay, you say it, you watch it back, and you're like, I'm just gonna shut up and listen to Andy now because he just knows like that's it. Just Andy Corden just knows wrestlers. Just shut up and listen to him.
Yeah, he does seem like a star man. And yeah, I was watching back like a best of Doug Williams at FWA, and I was like, oh wait, is that Andy as a referee?
Yeah, I like doing that. I like watching old matches and like just wondering where Quilden is. And half the time he is reffing it, or like you could hear him like in the commentary. It's great.
So I want to talk about sort of like the way you lay out matches, because you always seem to bring something new to the table pretty much every match. And I never feel like every match is the same with you. It's like you have so many different moves, and you'll just do certain moves in certain matches and other moves in other matches. How do you go about it when you think about it?
Um, I think it's just like I guess like pulling back the curtain. I went to a show and a fan was calling someone's like first half of the match. I can't remember who it was, but this is like I was just sat behind someone and they're doing like their shine and they go like sat back, arms crossed. They've gone, right, here we go. Duck, duck, this. Oh, he's dropped there. Here comes the kick. Oh, he's gonna duck that. There's the second kick. And I was like, oh, so you're
We've
other
lost
show,
him.
like
Yeah.
someone else out, and it happened again at another show where they're just like talking along what the wrestler's doing. I was like, but you get taught to have a set shine, a set comeback, and then a kind of a thing here and there. And like, I think I got to the point. It's like I never want anyone to be able to talk like through what I'm doing because then it gets to the point like, why are you going to watch me if you already know what I'm doing? So I'll do the running spot, but then it could end with a drop kick. And then the next time you see me, I'll do the running spot, it'll end in a big boot. Or I'll do the running spot and then they'll duck it and then we'll go into something else. It's like I like for a while I will do maybe like 5 shows in a row. I'll do the same running spot. But then sometimes it's like my girlfriend would be like, oh, it's getting boring now, I'll do something else. I'm like, no, you're right, let's do something else then. So then I'll change it up. And I think that's how it kind of works. Even like and as well with Will teaching me, he was like, you want to have your kind of like set moves, but then you want to sprinkle in other moves that make sense. If so, like I know so like you do it just like not because you like want to, it's because you have to.
Mm.
So like uh like I'm never someone that's ever gonna like work the leg kind of. If I'm working someone that's like 7'2", I'm going to have to start doing like springboard drop kicks to the legs. You're never going
Mm.
to see me do it against anyone else, but for this person, I have to, and it kind of adds like the difference to like every match. And as well, I get like I'm like ADHD, so like if I start doing the same thing every match, I get bored of myself and I will refuse to watch matches. Either that, or I will just kind of be like, right, I'm doing this move today. I'm going to stick with this move. Like I'm pretty sure like the Black Mass, I've been doing it for years, but I went through like maybe like 4 months. I was like, I'm not doing it. Don't want to. It's boring. I hate it. And then someone else went, no, it's really good. You should do it. Bring it back. I was like, fine. Done it again. I was like, okay, it's pretty good. And then like it come back for now.
I remember you actually made me pop on a version of a Canadian destroyer, a move that's just been so overused that it's kind of boring now. And I can't. It was one of the multi-man matches in progress, and you hit like you were going for what looked like Will Ospreay's detonator kick, but you changed it up and did like the springboard backflip and into a Canadian destroyer. It was bloody incredible.
Oh, the hamstring.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That was just thought of kind of like 5 minutes before.
Uh, I haven't seen you pull it off yet since, so I'm sure we'll see it in another match in the long future. But yeah, Jesus Christ, I was just like, oh my God. It was like the first time I've seen somebody do Canadian story different enough to make it look good again. And I was really, really impressed with that. Now,
Cheers.
now I talked about sort of like the Will Ospreay factor there, and how do you react and feel about, you know, sometimes the comparisons to Will Ospreay, or, you know, saying you're just a clone of Will Ospreay when you are different, you do mix up your moves, you don't really have the same similar move set. How do you feel when you sort of like that get that type of reaction with people saying things like that? It's
Um,
a compliment in a way, I guess, of course, because Will Ospreay is the best in the world right now, as you say.
it is a compliment when people are like, I don't know, it's a weird one because at first it was like, yeah, I love it, but then not like for a while it was like, oh, you're just the next Will. I was like, well, I'm not. Like, I'm still doing these other things. Like, it's just because for a while I was copying his moves. But then I'm like, but there's so many other people that copies Will's moves. Like, people copy like his haircut, but they don't get shit. But because I do it, but because I fucking live 20 minutes from his, I'm like the clone of Will. Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
like, it's a weird one because like he is the best in the world, and people comparing me to him, and it is like, oh, that's fucking cool. But then it does get to a point. I'm like, no, like I'm a completely different wrestler to Will, because where Will's like when Will was my age, his highlight was he could do every flip under the sun. My
Mm,
highlight is no one can keep up with me. I'm the fastest wrestler. I'm going to say I'm the fastest wrestler in the UK and Europe. I haven't
mm,
seen really anyone in Japan yet, but give me 2 weeks and I'll see. And I haven't really touched America yet, so I don't know who's the fastest there. So, but right now, there's like I'm the fastest. I'm faster than Robbie, faster than Peter Tahani. Like no one can keep up with me. So that's my highlight. But then no matter what, I'll do an Oscar and then it'll go straight back to, oh, you're the next Will. But then you'll see me run the ropes and go, oh, he's so good. But
mm,
like, it is a compliment to a point. But like now I feel like I've left that kind of because now
mm.
I think now I'm with the United Empire as a young lion. I think people are kind of gonna like I think they're wondering where I'm gonna go next now after this because I don't even know.
Mm.
So I guess it's just gonna have to be like give me a
Yeah,
while and see.
you're a lot bigger than Will was at your age, and you actually mix in quite a few power moves as well. You do have a bit of a heavyweight junior weight feel to you at sometimes. I've seen you hitting some nasty power bombs on some of the smaller guys.
Yeah. My favorite was hitting one Orlando. I could just throw him.
Right, let's talk CPF. Let's talk progress because again, progress. You've had a decent enough year with progress. Again, you've been kind of a main regular alongside CPF. You were highlighted in the Super Strong Style 16 weekend. Talk us through the storyline. I mean, did you already know at that point you were going to the New Japan? Is that why it happened, or was there just other reasons behind it?
No, it mainly just like uh, I think it was more like a push into joining Swords of Essex
Yeah.
because I'd like because Will's had a heavy hand in training me, but so's Robbo as well because he's done like he would make sure like people paid me. I was safe at shows. I was looked after when I was at like debuting at places. When I was like kind of sat by myself, Robbo would be the one to come along and help me. Like he's like my dad, like at most shows, to be honest. It's like Will's the older brother, Robbo's the dad. Um, but yeah, but like I saw the opportunity to see if I could wrestle Will in the ballroom, and they had to go and ruin it, didn't they?
It was heartbreaking. It was. I was there live. I was like I can't believe it's happening. And it was I had the similar feeling with the Arrows of Hungary recently broke up, and I was like, no, you can't
Oh
do that.
no.
Callum just left EPF. You can't leave the Arrows. But of course, obviously, there's no real issue between you and Danny, Mav, and Joe. You're still technically CPF. CPF for life.
Yeah, deep down, I've got the football jersey, so we're like we've sorted it out. Is what it is. Like progress. I don't know what's happening in the future with them. Probably won't be like there. I don't really know. I haven't really spoken to them like recently, but We'll see. We'll see.
You had a great match at TNT Extreme recently with Dean Allmark, didn't you?
Oh, I love that match with Dean. I want to wrestle Dean every day of the week. Like, because I've known Dean for ages and we just never wrestled up to that point. Um, and like, I learned so much. Like, so much. He like even just doing like a bit of tech with him at the start. Like, I'm like, oh, you do this way? Oh no! And like before I've even like caught him in something, he's already out of it. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Like, Magic Man.
You'll be able to keep up once you've been through the New Japan Dojo and they've drilled you in
Yeah,
all different wrestling styles. I'm sure
that's the
it'll be a
one.
great one.
You'll have to
Now,
keep up with me.
you're no stranger to wrestling abroad. You've been all over Europe, Spain, Italy, Germany. Have you been to France yet?
Not yet. Austria, Spain, Germany, Italy. I think that's it, really. Yeah.
I'm sure more will come with you because you've been somewhat of a semi-regular with the German Wrestling Federation. I saw you put out a post about Axel Tiska being the man and looking after you while you've been out there.
Right. Axel is an absolute G. Like, as soon as I landed, so it was meant to be like I'm going to say everything. He's honestly, Axel is a gem. So I was meant to be like a changeover from it was like Heathrow to Frankfurt and then Frankfurt to Dresden. And the flight from Heathrow got delayed, so I missed the changeover. And I messaged him, I was like, "Hey man, I'm going to miss the flight. I'm really sorry. I'll just sleep in the airport. It's fine. I don't know what I'm going to do about the next flight though." And then by the time I've gone to the check-in desk and like, I've missed the changeover, what do I do? And they said, "I will push you on to the next flight." I was like, "That's perfect." And then by the time I can even tell Axel, he goes, "Here's your hotel details. Get a taxi there. I'll give you the money back. Stay safe." I was like, "Oh, okay." So he gave me a bed for the night. Got to the airport, um, landed. He picked me up, and then straight away he was like, "Right, we're gonna go get food." I was like, "Okay, that's fine." And I'm expecting like kind of the usual, like we'll go somewhere, you kind of wander, find your own food, and then like you meet back. He takes me to like this like cafe place, and he's translating everything, making sure I know what I'm getting, like what food I'm getting. Pays for everything. We sit down, we have a lunch for like 2 hours. We get to the venue. He's making sure like everyone on the show's got something to eat. Everyone's okay. Everyone knows what they're doing. And then when we finish, takes us to the Airbnb. Like make sure we're all safe. We've all got something to eat. Like we're all like comfortable with everything. We do the seminar the next day. He's taking us to breakfast. He's got us lunch, and like when by the time because I had to get to the airport after the seminar, he's got me dinner. And he went, "Here you go. Here's your dinner. Like, I'm really sorry, but I'm gonna have to like drop you off like a few hours before check-in." I was like, brother, you've looked after me way more than you needed to for this whole trip. You could have like dropped me off to the airport at like 8 o'clock in the morning, and my flight was at 6, and I would not give a fuck. Like, you fully looked after me, and like honestly, an absolute gem.
That's awesome. He does seem like a really nice guy. Tried to get him on the show once. I'm gonna have to try again. He's well, I'll send him another message. Now let's talk about it. You're going to Japan. It's the 8th of September. You'll be making your actual debut. But when are you flying out?
Sunday the 3rd.
So there you go.
I,
Well, we're
I
pushing this
think
out on the Monday, so it'll be out this interview will be out the next day when you're in Japan.
perfect.
Probably completely jet lagged from
I think I would have landed.
it's a long flight, isn't it? I mean, I'll take it. It's going to be the longest flight you've ever done. Have you never traveled like that
It's
before?
no, it's 14 hours, but it's a direct flight, which is fine. I hate changeovers,
Yeah. Have
but
you got like a flatbed? Do you know, or is it just like a?
I haven't got a clue. I'm not too fast. I can sleep anywhere usually.
Hmm.
Like if I'm tired enough, it's fine. Like they've looked after me. They've given me a flight kind of late in the day, so I can like just get there, kind of get sorted, sort my stuff out, and then by the time it's a few hours in the flight, I can just go to sleep.
Are you flying out with Ospreay?
I'm going by myself, which is the scariest thing.
Are the United Empire boys? Who's out there at the moment? Jeff, Great
I think
Okan.
I think Hanare.
All right.
Um, I think Akira and TJP are killing it in Canada. Um, Aussie Open smashing it in America, and then yeah, I think that's it. And then I think me, myself, Will, Jeff, Great Okan, Hanare. Yeah, I think we all get ready to kind of work hard on the destruction tour.
Now, Will said that you're going out there to be a to join the dojo. Are you joining the dojo fully, as in they're going to make you wear black trunks, they're going to shave your hair, and they're going to basically strip you down of everything, build you back up before allowing you to explode once again?
Pretty much. I'm like, I'll be honest. I've like, I know I'm going to the dojo, and I know I'm being stripped all the way back. Um, but I think that's as far as I know. I know I'm training at the dojo. I'm doing all the chores. I'm doing the cooking, the cleaning, everything. But it's what I've wanted. Like I think I've kind of been like kind of bobbing along the UK scene now for a little while, and like having this like discipline and like proper kind of like structured um kind of I guess like I don't know what the word is. I'm too dyslexic. Um,
Yeah,
God, what's the
your
word?
days are going to be a bit more structured, less free
Yeah,
time. Yeah, I can see them working you day and night,
yeah.
drilling
But
you.
it's like a but like when Will called like gave me the call and I was like, "You've been offered a young like to go to the dojo." Like, fuck. And I was like, I can't say no. He was like, well, look at Okada, look at Jay White, look at all these other guys that have gone through the same system. Like the system works. I was like, it fucking does. So I'll be there for a few months and I'm going to be training so hard. Like I've told myself, I'm giving myself no excuses. I'm not giving myself anything. Like it's all or nothing.
I love the attitude. We said on the last podcast that we did that you have the right attitude for somebody going to that system. I think you have a lot of respect for others and elders, and I can see you sort of like really matching well with the discipline and so forth. I think it will be good for you. Obviously, Gabe Kids came out jacked. You yourself, I'm worried that you think you're going to stay a junior in there, or do you reckon you'll come out as a heavyweight? Because I'm sure there'll be some muscle work as well.
I want to stay as a junior. I don't know because I think I do put on weight kind of easy. Like if I am bulking, but if I stay like below, like if I work out the calories, I stay below that. I do drop the weight, or I do like kind of stay around this below. I stay below like 90 kilograms, which is like junior heavyweight,
Yeah.
which is like I'm happy with because I like because now like I genuinely I was talking to my girlfriend like this was like kind of mid last year and was kind of figuring everything out. And was like, right, I'll give myself 2 or 3 years. And if I don't get anything by kind of like anything close to what I want, like Japan wise or anything like that, then maybe start thinking of like a backup plan. But no, it's like 6 months in, I get the call, and then September, it's like, right, you're going to the dojo, mate. See you later.
It's incredible. Are you going to be the youngest? Sorry, are you going to be the youngest European English or even fully international talent to debut for New Japan? Because Will was 23. I think Gabe was also around 23 at the time. You're still 20.
I
Is there
think so. I'm
anyone?
21 tomorrow.
Oh, happy birthday!
Thank you, sir. Um, I think so. I think the biggest thing for me was Will told me that I was like the first gaijin to be taken into the like the Japan dojo. I think the first British gaijin to be in the dojo.
Because Gabe
Because
was technically at LA and
yeah,
Jay was at New Zealand.
think, and then there's like Bala that was like LA Dojo as well.
Yeah.
But like I'm like heading straight there, which is still fucking mental. So I was like, that's like kind of like a bit more pressure to add on top of that, like just everything in general.
And another thing I said when I bought this T-shirt from you, this Prince of Pace with the
Yeah.
tiger on it, I joked about the fact that if you ever went over to Japan and thing that you could actually take on the Black Tiger gimmick over in Japan, because obviously the original Black Tiger was Rollerball Rocco as the British. If they offered you that, what would you take that?
Too pretty for a mask. No, right now it's just we'll see where it goes. I think now it's just I'm just going to focus on my training
Yeah.
and just focus on kind of like just everything that's like kind of dojo based now. Like now like I've kind of got like this week has just kind of been like my last kind of lazy week because from Sunday it's like all balls to the wall now. So like I've like it's just I've like my life now is the dojo.
Mm.
That's kind of it. Eat, sleep, bleed the dojo. So yeah,
I love that. And as I say, you mentioned there are going to be the United Empire boys out there. But in Japan already, there's Leighton Buzzard over in BJW. There's Jack Morris over in Pro Wrestling Noah at the moment. We're taking over Japan.
oh yeah, like British wrestling is like I don't want to say it's like another boom, but like it's not even a boom. It's just everyone's kind of taken notice that the British guys are sick. Like there's a good like pool of just sick British wrestlers
Mm.
because like no like there's no like I don't think anyone's really like the same kind of like everyone can do like the same moves, but everyone brings something else to the table. It's like you got like the like CPF that brings something different. You got like all the Irish guys like from OTT. Everyone there's
Mm.
fucking insane. Lycos Gym. You got all the Welsh guys. Like everything about British wrestling when everyone comes together, it's like it's it's I don't like it's just sick to see everyone work together. And then everyone else notices like people are coming over here because like when I was coming up, everyone was like, "No, we've got to go to America. We've got to go here. We've got to go there." People are coming here, like the Americans are coming here now, and it's like, well, take notice because you're like spending all like your money on your flights to come to see like British wrestling. So like it's insane to think that like the British guys now are like I don't want to say like a standard, but like people are taking notice now. I think they have been, but it's been recently like people have noticing, been like, no, we are fucking sick, so let's use it and then show the world now. Because I genuinely I like especially since I found out is like the way I felt. I was like, fuck, I want all my friends to now get something to feel the way I felt because I've been like because when Will told me I was at Stansted and I cried in the airport, like I'm looking at the sign, like trying to find my flight number, and then my eyes are welling up. I can't see shit because I've just been told I've got my dream job, and then like you get like that, then a wave of like just happiness because like you don't know what to do. Then all the anxiety to the build up. Now I'm just raring to go. Like my bags are literally packed. Like it's insane.
No, it's been an incredible year, and you've been killing it. Now 8th of September is the actual debut. It's a fatal four-way match. You're teaming with Hanari, you're teaming with Cobb and Great O'Con. I mean, what a team to deal with. And you're taking on LIJ members, Tetsuya Naito, Hiromu Takahashi, Yota Tsuji, and Shingo Takagi. I mean, you're going to be in the ring with four legends and some upcoming legends as well.
It's mad. Like what the fuck?
Which of the four are you looking forward to most locking up with?
Probably Shingo, because like him like his and Will's matches are sick, but then him and Hanare's matches, they just beat the shit out of each other. and like it's honestly so good. But then again, like I want to see who's faster out of me and Hiromu. I have to know, like just and then there's like Naito because he's slick as fuck as like watch my life.
Him and Will just tore it up recently, didn't they, in the G1 climax? And you're going to be grappling with him. Did you ever get to mix up with Yota Tsuji while he was here?
Yeah, I had a tag match with him. Me and JJ against Yota and Lucian Phillips. And that was cool because I kind of got to. We didn't do much together. Like it was kind of just like a thing here and there. Like that's about it. But like talking to him backstage was always really cool. Kind of like picking his brain about like dojo life and Japanese wrestling in general.
Mm.
But now he's changed a bit now since he's been like from Rev Pro to like Lij boy. So that's going to be interesting.
He came back from that Rev Pro UK excursion and has just absolutely dominated. Got himself a world title shot. Is of course the whole reason you in the United Empire facing him is Yota Tsuji versus Will Ospreay for the IWGP UK Championship.
That's a lot. I was getting ready to correct you then.
Absolutely, it's the UK. I mean, I was at Yota turned around and said he wants to make it the EU. He can't happen. Will's gotta defend that belt for us.
Yeah, you've got to keep it in the UK. Such a nice belt as well. It's a proper good belt.
Did he pay for that, or did I don't, or was it a thing?
I ain't got a clue. I just like it just popped out of nowhere. Oh, it is a nice belt. It's proper good.
It is, and I absolutely love it. And I've been saying we need an IWGP UK Championship. Maybe once they've seen how amazing you are, they'll set up a UK dojo as well, because I think we deserve one. Although you could say the Rev Pro Portsmouth School, it's kind of like that.
Yeah, yeah. Like when I haven't been in ages, but when we started, it was like 100 squats, like at the very start. But I think thinking back to that now and what I'm about to go into, I think it ain't that bad.
Yeah, it's going to be worse than army training. I do believe they're going to drill you the neck drills. But one of the things that I think is going to be so beneficial is the drilling on simple, basic wrestling. Because obviously you're already an amazing high flyer. I've seen you do some of the arm locks and things with someone like Dean Allmark, but to spend time and really drill that and add that to your already incredible arsenal of aerial moves, you'll have the one up on Will Ospreay. Really, you will.
Yeah, I guess to a point. I guess we have to see how it goes because they're gonna like. I think it's gonna be they take all the moves away as well. So I'll have a very limited
at
kind
first, but
of.
once you graduate, you'll be able to add it all back in, won't you?
Yeah, so I'll still be seeing if there's like trampoline parks in Japan and making sure I can still flip. So, but that won't be an issue. But I think
In
I'll
your
have the
spare time.
edge. Yeah, I think with all the conditioning, I'm definitely going to have a bit of an edge over Will, I reckon.
I think it's going to be amazing. Now, of course, Royal Quest, New Japan are coming back to the UK. Are you going to be flying in for that one, or are you staying out in Japan, or don't you quite know yet?
I haven't got a clue. All I know is Destruction Tour, train at the dojo. And there we go. That's as far as I know.
How long does the dojo system last? Have they spoken to you about that? Nope.
Uh, I think it's around like 2 years. Like I think Gabe was in it for around 18 months.
Mm.
So I don't know. I reckon it's just kind of they see how you progress and kind of go with that. But I'm not too sure what the deal is, but like I'm more excited just to turn up and kind of just go with the flow and just
Yeah.
like where do you need me? I'm there.
I'm sure that's going to be because obviously next year you'll be possibly looking at things like Boss J 2024. Maybe even the World Junior Tag League. Maybe you can team with TJ, or they can team you with Francesco. But of course, TJ and Francisco have been doing great, as was it Catch 2-2.
Yeah, I don't want to interrupt the because everyone's kind of got. I don't want to say everyone in the Empire's got their role, but like, I think Akira and TJP are definitely like the junior tag team. And I don't want to interrupt kind of the flow of that because they've been fucking smashing it like with everything. So I don't know. I think I like the idea of being like the junior in the Empire. 'Cause I don't think they really have like a singles junior wrestler.
Mm.
So if I could fill that role, I definitely will like fill it to the best of my ability.
Well, you replaced the man that was supposed to do it for the United
He's a
Empire.
dickhead, absolute dickhead.
Are you looking forward to possibly crossing paths with Maloney in the ring while you're over there?
I'd smash his teeth in.
Him and
It was
Gabe
sound.
Kidd.
It was like Dan was so cool. Like he helped me with everything, the diet, the conditioning when I was here, just like pretty much like all like bits and bobs, everything. And then he had to go and ruin it, didn't he? What a melt!
I know he is a bit of an ass, but he really he's loving and suiting this role with Bullet Club so far. I think he's doing a great job. Him and the new War Dogs or whatever they're called. I think they're doing a great job. I look forward to you crossing his path then. I'm sure a great match will be in the works. So as you say, I was going to ask about obviously the J Cup for Rev Pro UK have their usual J Cup in November, but as you say, you have no idea how long you're going to be over in New Japan for. I suppose a somewhat question because Will Ospreay, of course, his contract does come up in January. He has made it very public. What happens in a situation where he possibly signs with one of the others? You're just going to stick it out with New Japan.
Yeah, pretty much. I haven't really spoken to him about anything because like it's not really any of my business.
Mm.
So like, kind of is what it is. But I'm like I said, my life now is the New Japan Dojo. So no matter what happens, my life is the dojo. So
And you'll be repping
yeah,
United
stick it out.
Empire for life.
Oh yeah, like when I first got introduced, everyone was saying, "Have we done a background check on him, making sure that he's not like going to join Bullet Club or anything?" It's like I'm like, guys, Will's like the main reason why I'm actually still in wrestling. Like, if it weren't for Will telling people, like telling my parents not to let me quit, I wouldn't be here.
Mm.
So, like, I can't really turn my back on the guy that's given me pretty much everything.
Yeah, I actually remember you telling us all about that on the first interview we ever did with you. You mentioned about training with Nino, him coming along, and as you say, telling your parents. Who I love your parents, by the way, because I do see them every now and then at shows, and I mentioned it on the podcast, and I'm gonna tell you. When we were on hiatus, I nearly decided to actually put the podcast to one side and just was going to be like, you know what, I don't think it's working. I'm not doing it. But I spoke to Lee McAteer at Progress, and I spoke to the Arrows of Hungary. But it was your dad who gave me the thing that who said that he listened to us and he misses listening to us. And he doesn't normally listen to podcasts, and so that really kind of touched me there. And I was like, put me back in the mood to go and
I'll
do
tell
that.
him
So say
because
thank you to your dad for that.
no, Will he like his job he like drives like from 6 o'clock in the morning to like 8 o'clock in the afternoon sometimes. And he says like when he's driving down the motorway, he gets bored of the radio, so he'll put on tea and tights, and he's like it gets him through the day half the time.
That's awesome. As you say, yeah, when we hear things like that, it really does mean a lot to us. And so, yeah, what your dad said did mean a lot to me. And I was like, you know what, we're gonna get it back going again. It took us a few weeks, but we're back running now, and we've got a
Hell
great
yeah,
show, repping
hell
that
yeah,
Brit Rest life.
hell yeah, hell yeah.
I'm really looking forward to it. Right now, I've kept you for almost an hour. You got the Prince of Pace t-shirt. Where can people buy it before you go?
I've only got like large, extra large, and extra extra large left, so that's just gonna be message me, Principe CN on everything, just Twitter and Instagram, and I'll send it to you basically.
That's awesome. I can't wait
Ah,
to see you out there. Is there anything you're particularly worried about with regards to, say, food, language, or even just a culture shock that is Japan sometimes?
um, uh,
So I'm really picky for
uh,
food, and that's one of the things that's always kind of worried me about going to Japan.
I'll eat anything to be honest. I'm not really a picky eater. Um, do you know what? It took me a while to learn how to use chopsticks. I think that's like the hardest thing. Um, the language, I don't think I'm that scared about because I'm trying to learn bits and bobs here and there. But I feel like I'm going to learn better when I'm actually kind of there. Um, yeah, I'm not that worried anymore. Before I was, but now I just want to get there now. So yeah, I'm just raring to go at this rate.
Awesome. Have you ever seen a podcast? It's called Abroad in Japan. If
Nah.
you haven't, it's a good podcast. It's on YouTube. Sorry, it's like videos. He does. He goes around Japan. He was a teacher over there, and he does loads of tours. So be a good thing to look up if you're interested in finding a bit more about places you're gonna go. So abroad
I'll
in
give it a
Japan.
go.
Yeah, it's good lad. Right. I was trying to think, is there anything else I need to ask you apart from just enjoy yourself, young man?
I'll try my best.
And I tell you, when you do finally come back, we'll definitely bring you back on because we love having you here on the Tea and Tights. It is your third time with us. You did one interview and then you did the CPF interview, which was fantastic. They're on our old channel, which is on Body Slam. Go check them out if you want to learn a bit more about Callum's history. That first interview certainly have you covered. With that said, support British wrestling, support independent wrestling, support the wrestlers, and support podcasts that support the wrestlers. And have a great day and don't feed the trolls.